Quality property in Lagos are said to be mostly vacant, with the vacancy factor index hitting 172 in the second quarter of 2016. Now, what is driving this index up? I'm being joined by a research analyst at financial derivatives company, Bolanle Olutosin. Good afternoon, Bolanle. Good to have you on the program. Now, vacancy factor index. First, what is this index about?
So this index is an index we just developed where we measure the number of vacant properties in the prime areas of Lagos, Lekki, Victoria Island and Ikoyi. So we compared the vacant properties to the total number of properties on certain streets in the prime areas and measured this with the base month, which is January 2015, so the housing stock in January 2015. So far, we find that the index has increased by about 72% from the base month in January 2015. And we find that there's a disequilibrium in the market, the real estate market, and this is the reason why vacancy rates have increased this much.
So it's basically the highbrow area that you're looking at. Now, what is the relevance of this vacancy factor index to the Nigerian market and, of course, the economy in general?
Well, first of all, shelter is it's an important necessity in life. So it would always be the real estate sector would always be an important sector in the economy. Like, you cannot miss out the real estate sector when you're talking about important sectors to focus on within the economy. So the demand and supply of what happens in the real estate market should be something the government should focus on, provision of housing for individuals within the economy and so on.
Right. Now, the index went up 172 in the second quarter. That's up 4.2%. What does this mean? What is the implication now?
So, well, the implication of that is, first of all, we're looking at the supply of housing. So what has driven the increase in supply of housing despite the contraction in the economy, the contraction in GDP, inflation rates have increased as high as 16.5, unemployment rates have increased. So what we find is that in the stock market, it's been given real returns that have been negative. So a rational investor would look into other sectors like the real estate market where they can hedge against inflation. So you see a case where a lot of people are putting money into the supply of housing and all that. But at the same time, we should see rents going down when supply is increasing, according to economic theory. But then what happens is the building materials used to build these houses are still in the 41 banned items by the Central Bank of Nigeria. So they need to source for the money from the parallel market, which is currently about at 395 naira to the dollar. So they need to add this cost to the rents that they charge for individuals. But at the same time, looking at the demand side, we see that a lot of oil and gas companies have retrenched a lot of their workers. And previously, these oil and gas companies would be the one responsible for the housing in the prime areas because they employ the high-end tenants. But now that they've retrenched a lot of their workers, they don't have money to pay for most of this housing. You see that the demand for the housing drops. Then most people move to more affordable housing, maybe on the mainland and other areas within Nigeria.
Now, are you looking basically for rented apartments, or the apartments you have to rent, and the ones you have to buy?
We're looking at both. Yes, so we look at both rental apartments and apartments for sale. But then, right now, we see most of the apartments that are for rent because once you see that the economy has gone into recession, which is what we're facing now, we should see more distressed sale coming into the market. But that hasn't been the case now because the indicator is actually a lagging indicator. So in economics, we have leading, lagging, and coincidental indicators. So a leading indicator would be one that precedes an economic cycle. So, for example, the stock market. Once the policy is announced that, we're going to do something to the stock market reacts immediately. With coincidental indicators, these indicators occur once the policy has been implemented. But then with lagging indicators, they take time. There's a time lag between when policy is made and when the real estate market adjusts to.
So they're not, responding to the policy.
Yes, changes. So that's the reason why we see a gradual increase from 165 in Q1 to 172. ideally the vacancy rate should have increased or doubled, but then the indicator is a lagging indicator, so we do not see that effect.
Now, when you talk about real estate, one major commodity that is quite essential is cement.
Yeah.
What's the state of cement right now?
So right now, obviously, cement is still part of the 41 banned items, but at the same time, the cement produced locally, Dangote cement and all, they've increased by about 10% in the current market, from about 1,500 naira per bag to 1,650 naira per bag. So that already adds to the cost of supplying housing in some of these prime areas.
All right, so what's your outlook like for the rest of 2016 and going into 2017 for the real estate sector, and beside the highbrow vacancy areas?
Like I said, the degree of responsiveness of the sector to policy change, there's a time lag between that. So we do not expect to see any drastic changes or any depreciation or decrease in the vacancy rates till about Q1 2017. And that's just because of the time lag between the policy change and the vacancy rates.
All right, thank you very much for your time.
Thank
Bolanle.
you.
Yeah, that was Bolanle Lutosin, research analyst with Financial Derivatives Company here in Lagos. Now, the sprawling metropolis of Lagos struggles with poor waste management, which often results in mounds of garbage piling up in many neighborhoods. To help clean up, Y-Cycles, a recycling outfit, is giving residents in informal settlements a chance to earn from their waste by getting redeemable points for used plastics and cans.
Nigeria's mega city, Lagos, has always produced trash in abundance, thanks to its over 21 million residents generating about 10,000 metric tons of waste every day. Some of it end up here at Y-Cycles, a waste collection company that gathers used plastics and cans and processes them ready for recycling. The company is trying to help tackle waste management challenges in small neighborhoods that often lack garbage collection services. Y-Cycles works with low-income households, collecting their trash and giving them redeemable points that can be exchanged for cash, food and household items.
You can see the plastic bottles have been, removed. The label has been removed. The cap has been removed. We put it into the crushing machine. The machine crushes it and then turns it into flakes.
Crushed plastics cost about 23 US cents per kilogram. Y-Cycles collect at least 100 tons of waste every month, a small fraction of what is generated monthly in Lagos. What started in 2012 as a social enterprise initiative has grown to enlist 11,000 homes across Lagos suburbs.
We're making it easier, we're making the environment cleaner, and we're helping to reduce the pressure on our landfills, because our landfills are filling up. We are reducing CO2 emissions. We are making, we're helping to strengthen the economy, because we're providing viable alternatives to virgin materials.
More and more residents are joining the program after seeing the benefit of collecting recyclable waste.
We are doing this because we want the whole of Lagos to be clean. Now we are seeing that the whole of Lagos is clean. There is no dirt. The gutter is no longer full. Now water is flowing easily. But they always say we should come and take something. But whenever we go there, they don't give us in time.